Last game, Commissioner Loeb was slapped with 2 sexual harassment lawsuits.
I filed a sexual harassment suit with the circuit court against you, Kenneth Loeb. So enjoy.
Although I filed a sexual harassment suit against Commissioner Loeb, in no way will I let him or his goons frighten me.
All this has made Kenny a bit squeamish.
I have never even attempted some of the sick things that Miss Hertz has accused me of doing. I get queasy even contemplating the acts that she has... Pardon me for a minute.
His right-hand man claims the commissioner is clean.
Kenneth Loeb is a man of morals and integrity. It's just impossible for me to believe that he did these ludicrous things to Miss Hertz.
Amanda's not the only Dice member who has recently been abused.
Of course I'm a little pissed off that Sanders stole the Jammers title from me, but that's not going to stop me from doing my job.
Fortunately, the Dice may be facing a D'Amato-less enforcer team, thanks to this vicious attack at the hands of the moral authority.
If D'Amato don't skate tonight, I got 2 guys to pick up the slack. Boom and boom! Yeah!
Let the games begin! The Hotdice take on the Enforcers. Next on Roller Jam. Welcome to Roller Jam Arena, everybody, in the World Skating League. This is, without a doubt, Roller Jam, and we're so happy you decided to join us tonight because we have a great game. The Nevada Hotdice and the New York Enforcers. I'm Rory Marcus, along with Mark Lloyd, bringing you a matchup we've looked forward to for a long time, but it's somewhat not as sweet as it would have been because Mark D'Amato injured and not able to play tonight.
Yeah, it's a short-handed enforcer team. D'Amato, of course, got beat up in the kitchen down there, right there. You can see it right there. D'Amato got knocked around by the law enforcement officials of the moral authority, I'd like to point out, and now he's not going to play tonight.
He got beaten up by a bunch of bums that included the Dogma twins of the Florida Sun Dogs and a bunch of thugs hired by Kenneth Loeb, if you want to know the truth. Now, the Hotdice do have their top jammer, Jason McDaniel, but things have not been going as well lately for Jason, mainly because he lost his Jammers championship belt to Mo Sanders.
Yeah, he was robbed of that belt, though. Maybe he's the better skater, but Mo Sanders didn't play fairly, took off his skates, and Jason McDaniel now no longer the Jammer belt champion. At least he doesn't have the belt, I should say.
It's bad news for the Enforcers because McDaniel will want to come out here tonight and prove a point. How will the Enforcers stop him without D'Amato? They'll have to turn to Washington. At least that's one way. Let's see now as they come out and skate onto the track. Oh, yeah. Plus, they still have the Hellcat, but that's on the women's side. Has both of her hands taped up.
That means she means business, Rory.
Well,
that's bad news.
That's so her claws won't get caught in the track. Here come the rest of the Enforcer women. You see that girl skate by there clapping her hands with the ponytail? That's April Tootle. She's been doing a lot of jamming lately and has been very effective. And now the New York Enforcer men without D'Amato. Dirty Dan Gavani up there. There's Rusty Montgomery. They'll have to turn to him tonight. But this guy, he might be able to carry the load all by himself. The Big Nasty.
6'3", 270 pounds. Roy, look at the size of those shoulders and those arms. I think he can. Yeah, hell, he can carry me and you too.
Yeah, one of us under each arm. And now Broadway Danny Wolf has motioned him over into the infield. The Big Nasty has stopped by along with Wolf, and let's see what he has to say.
All right, thank you, Big Nasty. Tonight's the first game you've ever had to skate without Mark D'Amato. How's the life going to be out there?
You know what, Danny? We're gonna come out here.
All right, Tim. Wait, I'm getting word. Sorry to cut you off. We're getting word from the truck. Director Billy Moore Jr., I hear you. We're going to go live via satellite right now to Mark D'Amato, who's rehabilitating at the Eckhart Recovery Center in the High Sierras. Wait, Marco, you must be pissed you're not skating tonight.
You know something, Wolf? You are a complete idiot. Of course I'm not happy. I'm injured. I'm in this rat hole. My team is playing, and I'm not even there. But don't count me out. I am a crucial part of this game. Number one, I have a direct feed to the arena, and I will keep an eye on everything. Number 2, I have a direct line to Big Nasty, and he will follow all of my orders. Come in here, sweetheart. Sit down right here. Number 3, my brother Sean, God bless his heart, has loaned the services of his beautiful nurse Ophelia to take care of all of my needs. Here, hold on with those. Can you get right here? Sure. Maybe a little more right here. Perfect, sweetheart. Thank you. Trust me, I'll be fine. And finally, you freaks at home, you stay tuned because I have a couple of big surprises. And Wolf, don't ask me any more stupid questions. Hey, Nasty, give Wolf a shake goodbye for me.
I guess it's true. He is going to do whatever he says. Oh, Danny. Did you hear that little scream Danny let out? He looks over at Washington like, why'd you do that to me? Well, D'Amato told him to. That's a nice recovery center, by the way, in the High Sierras, isn't it? I'd like to go in there for a week or two. Now, let's see the Nevada Hotdice. The Warrior Princess, Shea Brown. Well, she comes to play every single night. And here's their top jammer now, Jennifer Matthews. They picked her up from the Quakes.
And she's really blended in well there with Shea Brown. And when you said the Warrior Princess, no doubt about it, Shea Brown is a force now in the WSL.
She has been for quite some time, and the rest of the Hotdice women take to the track. There's Goldilocks right there in front, waving to the crowd. It's going to be tough, no matter what D'Amato says from the recovery center. It's going to be difficult for his team to win this game without him, because they have their two big guys, Jason McDaniel and Mark Webber. Webber has the glasses.
How is McDaniel going to respond tonight, Roy? He has to be a little down. He no longer has the jammer belt that has to play a role tonight.
So far, we have not seen Amanda Hertz, and what I understand about the manager of the Hotdice is that she did not want to come here tonight because of a restraining order against Kenneth Logue.
Oh, whatever.
Didn't feel safe in the building. If she didn't feel safe around Logue, what about this guy, Devo? He has to get unhandcuffed just to play a game.
Yeah, what kind of sense does that make? That's why Amanda Hertz is lying about this whole thing. WSL fans will see it right through. She has a criminal in his uniform skating on her team. Please.
Well, the key words there are on her team. Devo's on her team, and there's Logue, the beleaguered commissioner, along with the false prophet. They watch from the skybox. Don't let that guy up there, Devo, rip that box up and throw those two guys about 3 stories down. We'll be back with the start of the game in just a minute.
Hi, I'm Jenny Matthews from Nevada Hotdice.
Here we are back at Roller Jam Arena, and there's some wild fans here tonight. They're going to see a wild game, too, between the New York Enforcers and the Nevada Hotdice, and the Hellcat has shown up once again tonight with her claws extended. Man, oh, man. I don't think I've ever seen a skater in this league or any other league that can look and act as mean as the Hellcat can once that whistle blows. She's actually a pretty nice person off the track. So is Shea Brown, as you can see by that sweet smile. But again, when the whistle blows, forget the smile. All business. And tough as can possibly be. Shea Brown and Talisa Miller, what a tremendous matchup on the women's side tonight. Talisa Miller knows she has to have a big game because D'Amato's out, and Broadway Danny Wolf is going to speak to the Hellcat.
Exactly, Rory. And Talisa, with Mark recuperating, he's out of action tonight. The women, I believe, must really step it up more than ever.
You know, Danny, I'm very upset that the quad father's not with us tonight. Mike, I got something to say. But it just gives me all the more reasons to take it out on Pocahontas and her little sidekick, Little Bo Peep. Jenny, you say you're going to be the first to reach 50 points? Only thing you're going to reach is 50 Swick kits right up your ass, baby.
Well, that's a pleasant way to start the game.
Okay.
Jennifer Matthews didn't seem to mind too much. I had to check the roster real quick. I didn't know we'd signed Little Bo Peep. You never know in this league. But Jennifer Matthews jumps out there on the jam. It didn't bother her at all. And April Tootle, who I talked about earlier, goes with her. April Tootle for the Enforcers, and Jenny Matthews gets knocked up against the rail.
And if you notice one thing too, Roy, whoever talks smack in this league, everybody goes after the person. Jenny Matthews, the first to 50 points. This is what's in store for her.
Yeah, she might not have done such a good thing when she mentioned that's her goal here. Now Jennifer Matthews kind of bumps April Tootle up to the rail, but that leaves Matthews to contend with the Hellcat. Shea Brown waiting. Oh, Shea Brown takes down the Hellcat hard and lets out a scream.
That's why we call her the Warrior Princess. Did you hear that scream?
You bet I did. I've heard it before. I've heard it many times. And Shea Brown made a huge play just to get the game started. If that's the way things are going to go for the Enforcers tonight, they're in a world of trouble.
Well, you said we're in for a treat, Roy. No doubt about a blindside hit by the Warrior Princess.
Oh, this is one of the great matchups we can have in the WSL. Because of these two, that's one reason. Look at them go. My goodness. That's about 2 seconds after the jam started, and now the jammers get out wearing those black helmets. They're the only ones who can score points if they pass members of the opposing team. And right now, April Tootle would like to get rid of Goldilocks if she can and pick up some points. Now it's 2-on-1 because the Hellcat has joined in, and that's one way to do it, huh? Just wait for your teammate to come in and whack somebody over the head from behind. Shea Brown goes back to block. Oh, that's a favorite weapon of the Hellcat, to take that helmet off and start hitting people with it. She threw the helmet down and then threw down another player. While Tootle scores the points for the Enforcers. They got 4 points.
Good play by the Hellcat. It's part of the uniform, and she uses it better than anybody else in the WSL.
Boy, she sure does. When she takes that helmet off, as she did right there, you better look out. You better have eyes in the back of your head. Then she threw the helmet down because she wanted to rip Jennifer Matthews down face first. And now the Hellcat and Shea Brown are in an all-out brawl in the infield. You see the results right there.
Yeah, the person on the ground is Shea Brown, and there's the Hellcat standing up, so you know who got the worst of it.
And Corbin just skates her back to the line and didn't give her a penalty. Shea Brown being picked up by Devo. He's got about another 40 minutes he can be here, then back to the slammer. Jennifer Matthews and April Tootle out for the jam. The final jam of the first period. Tootle up high on the track. Jenny Matthews down low, gives her a tomahawk chop, but it didn't knock her down.
I'll tell you what, Matthews claims she's going to be the first to 50 points. Hell, she hasn't done anything so far, Roy.
Not yet, not tonight. 4-2, the Enforcers lead, but there's a nice play by Matthews. She has a chance to get a little closer to those first 50 points. Oh, Shea Brown using both fists to take down 2 blockers at one time, and down goes another one. Brown's clearing the way. Matthews is getting the point. She's got one more she wants to get. It's little Adrian Medrano, and Matthews went right on by.
Shea's been a little light in the last couple of games, but boy, she came out strong in this game, taking over for the Dice.
You have to get back up quick after you've been knocked down in a fight in the infield by the Hellcat. She did it. She got up and helped Matthews score the points for the Hotdice. Nice play, Shea. She knows that, though. Look at her take down Medrano right there at the end of that jam. And Jennifer Matthews went right on by, up high on the track. That ends the first period of play. The Dice lead the Enforcers by a 6-4 score. The Enforcer men without D'Amato coming up. That's Big Nasty. Tim Washington talking on the cell phone to Mark D'Amato at the recovery center. He's smiling. There should be a sense of urgency with the Enforcers right now as Tim Washington gets set to go against the Hotdice, and he's going to have to do it alone tonight. Man, he's got a look that's mean enough on his face to do it alone against an entire team, I think. Although he looks a little bit more pensive right there. Maybe he's thinking about Jason McDaniel and Mark Weber and what he's going to have to do against those two guys. As Weber nicely accessorized, don't you think? Ready for this game and ready to try and do some damage of his own. It shouldn't be quite as hard because D'Amato's not here tonight. However, he is on the phone. He's talking to Big Nasty Tim Washington, and Broadway Danny Wolf is down there.
Tim, I hate to interrupt your call. What are your feelings on coming on the track, skating the first period without your partner, Mark D'Amato?
Well, you know what, Danny? the genius of Mark D'Amato has devised, once again, another plan for the Enforcers to win this game. And it is secured. And you know what? Here it is.
Right. Huh? What are you talking about?
I don't know what we're about to see here. Maybe a videotape?
That's the Ack Attack on the video.
It is the Ack Attack, isn't it? The Ack Attack is Mark D'Amato's brother. Oh, look at that! I never thought I'd see the sight. Atkinson, obviously loaned to the Enforcers for this one game, puts on the black and silver.
He looks good in that uniform, too. Look at the Ack.
Wow. Atkinson will skate for the New York Enforcers to help out his brother.
Can you do that, though, Rory?
Why don't you go down there and tell him he can't?
That's okay.
Here comes Broadway. He's going to find out more about it.
Unbelievable. Are you really going to be taking your brother's place in this game, Sean?
This is a one-shot deal, gang. Yes, I'm going to take Mark D'Amato's place, but I still bleed blue when I get cut. I'm a California Quake, man.
And that's his uniform.
Yeah, this is his uniform. Matter of fact, it's looking a lot better than it does on him. Don't tell him I said that.
I think it looks just splendid on both of them, don't you?
You said that, not me.
I don't think Logue and the Prophet are too happy about it.
Well, they shouldn't be. Illegal guys playing on other teams. It's ridiculous.
I don't see him doing anything about it, though. Now the Hotdice. Well, they are very, very good on those skates. They have some great jammers on this team, of course. You know we're talking about Jason McDaniel.
And we'll see if he plays like he has a chip on his shoulder tonight, too, after he's coming back after losing the Jammers belt to Mo Sanders.
Big Nasty back there to block. Uh-oh. Look at Weber. And here's Sean Davidson. They have the chairs out of the infield. Oh, did they ever crown Atkinson in the Big Nasty? Mark Weber has gone crazy along with Davidson. Atkinson might rue the day he decided to come out here in an Enforcer uniform.
Ack Attack cannot avoid the chair. Look at the dents in the chair just did. That was a Nasty in Ack's head.
Easier way to make a living.
And we got those chairs at a garage sale, too. I thought we'd gotten a pretty good bargain, and now they're damaged. Atkinson gets up and shakes hands with the Big Nasty, but this had to hurt. Ooh. The Hotdice lead 10-4.
Line them up right
Some
here.
things just don't look right, and that one of them is Atkinson in a uniform other than the Quakes. I guess we'll get used to it. But he looks funny in that black uniform.
But you know what, though? I've questioned himself, him and D'Amato's relationship as brothers, but, you know, they've proven a lot to me. Maybe they are really tight.
Mark Weber and Sean Davidson jump out there on the jam now for the Hotdice, and Atkinson's chasing, wearing that number 19 that his brother made famous. Can he get through? Not yet. These are two big guys, Weber and Davidson, and they have Atkinson around the neck, and they're working him over. Sean kind of breaks through for a moment. Davidson trying to grab his waist from behind, and so far nothing. Neither one of them has been able to gain any quarter. Atkinson breaks through again and gains a short lead on the jam. Still has to look over his shoulder, though, because Davidson and Weber are right there. Here's Washington to take them both down. The Big Nasty with a big move. Atkinson jumps up. Atkinson's going after the points, and he got them. He got them all.
How excited are the fans here, though, to see Atkinson and the Big Nasty playing together. They probably never thought they'd see it, and here it is tonight, Roy. What a treat.
Especially when you don't expect it, and all of a sudden here he comes to help his brother out. He's talking to Washington. Oh, as many times as these guys have leveled pain against one another, it must be a treat to be on the same team, like an all-star game.
I never thought I'd see these guys shaking hands and doing teamwork. No, never.
Atkinson celebrates the 3 points he picked up, and that makes it a little closer. The Dice lead now 10-7.
Here we go.
Now they line up once again. And out on the jam they go.
Get moving.
Travis Wills jamming for the New York Enforcers, but he gets knocked up there against the rail.
And look at the Ack Attack. No helmet, and he brought the scars and all here, Roy.
Well, there's not much he can do about the scars, just like there's not much he can do about his hair. But he's here to skate. And he's got Tim Washington right there with him.
Now,
Wills trying to catch from behind. And up. Oh, man. Wills got a very tough point right there. He went up and over, catapulting his body. Now he runs hard into Weber, and that sends Weber up over the rail. But Wills got the points, 4 of them.
4 black.
4 of them for the enforcers.
I think worldwide Weber just got knocked offline just then as he flew over the rail.
Yeah, that won't be mentioned on the website. Big play by Travis Wills brings us to halftime. And you know what? Atkinson and Washington and Wills have somehow given the enforcers the lead. But look out over here. Devo and Atkinson are going at it. Devo, the convict on skates. It's a melee.
Let's go. I got ours.
Devo's out of control. What is this guy even doing out here? Look at Atkinson. He's appalled. He's flabbergasted.
Let's go. Yeah, I mean, stay in one jam and you're more trouble than all of them.
Throw him in the box.
I think they're going to throw him in the box. Devo standing right in front of us, and Corbin's trying to get him back on the track.
Yeah, I got it.
Atkinson pushes himself up. We've reached halftime. Broadway Danny Wolf's trying to get a word in with Atkinson if he can. Now Sean sees him and skates over there, and Broadway, it tells Sean, I think he looks a little unusual in that black uniform.
Well, he does look unusual in the black uniform, but what a first half. What a dynamic duo you two make.
I tell you what, the Quakes are great, but staying with these badass boy enforcers is great! Yeah! It's time to get a little bit crazy!
Well, he's gotten a taste of it, and who knows, maybe he might like it. Oh, I never thought I'd see Sean Atkinson in the black and silver of the New York Enforcers, but Mark D'Amato has managed to get Atkinson over here, and it's made quite a difference. It didn't make too much of a difference on that play for the Enforcers, though, because they were taken out by a couple of big boys and a couple of big chairs, but the Enforcers have the lead. In case you're not up to date on World Skating League current events, check out Roller Jam Rewind.
Logue is a pervert, and if you put your hands on me again, Logue, I'll bite them off. And this goes out to you, Kenneth Logue. If you think you're going to use my for your own personal playground, you've got another thing coming. I filed a sexual harassment suit with the circuit court against you, Kenneth Logue. So enjoy.
You gotta love half-naked girls scrubbing cars down. And each other.
What more do I need to say in my own defense, Daniel? The woman accusing me of sexual harassment virtually deflowered that young man in public and on videotape.
I have been sexually harassed repeatedly by Kenneth Logue III.
That is the most outrageous, malicious pack of lies I have ever seen. That is pure fantasy. I never laid a finger on that woman. A Logue treats a woman with proper respect. He does not solicit sexual favors from her, and he does not fondle her used undergarments.
Kenneth Logue III is not the man you think he is. If this information can save one woman from his untoward advances, then I will be rest assured that this...
How very wholesome this is, huh? Amanda, I'm here for you. Put your head on my shoulder and you cried out. Don't stain the suit. You talk to me. You tell me the truth. I'm here to listen.
These allegations of sexual harassment are preposterous. I have struggled tirelessly to rid this league of overt sexuality. What in God's name is she talking about?
I think if everyone on Earth looked and sounded like Logue, we could eliminate sexuality from the planet. You know, Mark D'Amato once told me that he was so good at this game that he could phone in a win if he had to, and he's trying to do it tonight. Let's get his reaction. Right now, he's at the Eckhart Recovery Center in the High Sierras on tonight's first half.
Did any of you people doubt me? I'm a genius. This game is going exactly as planned. My brother Sean is skating perfectly, and Big Nasty is devastating as always. But you freaks at home, stay tuned. I promised you a big surprise. I have an announcement that will rock the WSL. Hey, I gotta go. It's time for my halftime sponge bath.
Gee, that's a pleasant recovery center, isn't it?
You think I could go now?
I got a sore throat. I don't know about that. D'Amato seems to enjoy himself a little too much there as he tries to get better for the next game. Meanwhile, not enjoying themselves at all, Kenneth Logue and the Prophet. And right now, they are with Broadway Danny Wolf.
Okay, we're up here in the commissioner's skybox. And Kenneth, how about the celebrating we just saw by Mark D'Amato?
I've made this point before, Daniel. The commissioner's office has complete authority over player trades. I did not sanction that deal. That was a swap of one animal for another as far as I'm concerned.
And let's talk about the sexual harassment allegations. What's up with these lawsuits, Kenneth?
For God's sake, this again. The charges against me are completely false and malicious. I don't know for the life of me why any woman, especially Amanda Hertz, would suggest that I sexually harassed her. I am the most ferocious proponent of female virtue since Torquemada.
And Prophet, let me ask you, what happens? What if the allegations come true? Then what?
Well, Danny, if I believed in the Easter Bunny, I might think that they are true. Wasn't it Albert Einstein that said great spirits experience opposition from mediocre minds? That's what we have here tonight. That's what we have. But as leader of the moral authority, I must stand by my quest for wholesomeness. If he is wrong, if he is wrong, he'll pay, so saith the prophet.
So saith the prophet. That's a big if. Back to you, Rory and Mark.
Thanks a lot, Danny, and you're looking at two very mediocre minds right there, that's for sure. We'll see about those allegations. We'll see about the second half as well. 11-10, Enforcers leading it.
Hi, I'm Shay Brown from the Nevada Hotdice.
We are back at Roller Jam Arena. Close game, 11-10. Oh, you see the Hellcat? As soon as that whistle blows, she plans that before the jam even begins, and a big smile on her face. Shay Brown didn't think it was so good, though. April Tootle for the Enforcers, jamming against Jenny Matthews of the Hotdice in a close game. Atkinson's done a tremendous job of keeping the Enforcers in the game, along with the Big Nasty, who, by the way, is in the booth with us here right now. We're going to talk to him in just a second. The Big Nasty will tell us about maybe some of the strategy they have for that fourth and final period. I don't know if it includes a garbage can lid, but it does for the Hellcat. Wow! She took out Shay Brown again and kicks the sand and the litter right on her.
Doing damage is always the Hellcat, Rory. If it's with her helmet, it's with a trash can, or it's with her elbow or those claws.
And the Enforcers have now a 4-point lead over the Dice at 14-10. Look at her. Starting the jam, she immediately reached out. Shay Brown was trying to get out of the pack and jam. She reached out, grabbed her, and threw her right down.
One woman wrecking machine.
All right, Tim Washington, the Big Nasty, here in the booth with us. You knew coming in you didn't have Mark D'Amato, but so far you still have the lead. Has it been tough?
No, it hasn't been tough at all. You know, it's kind of strange that I'm skating with Sean Atkinson. You know, usually I'm working against him, but now I'm working with them. But the Big Nasty's out there just cracking skulls and just taking a little bit here and there and doing my job.
April Tootle and Jenny Matthews jamming. What is it like to, after all the times you and Atkinson have had violent collisions? I remember the Demolition Derby was unbelievable. Now here you are on the same team, at least for a night.
It's a little strange. It's a little strange, but you know, the quad father told me let's do this, so I went along with it.
D'Amato, of course, on the phone with you. What is he saying? It looked like you were smiling a little bit when you were talking to him last time. Is he really enjoying himself that much?
Well, you know, he's in pain. But yeah, why not enjoy yourself? Don't you think he should enjoy himself, Rory?
He's enjoying himself.
What about you, Mark? Don't you think he should enjoy himself?
No, anything you say, Big Nasty.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, that's the way he always is.
Yeah.
He always agrees with who's ever in the booth at the moment, especially when it's you, Big Nasty. What are you going to do in the second half now, in the final period of this game?
We're going to do what the people want to see is more violence and bodies just getting tossed all over the place. Because that's what people want to see, right?
Great. Oh, yeah, and you don't care about Logue.
Who?
Kenneth Logue.
Who's that?
Sitting up there in the commissioner's box.
That's my box, man.
No, that's your box.
Yeah.
That's your sky box.
He's just borrowing it.
I see. You loaned it to him for the night, huh?
Yep. More violence. Way to go.
All right, we're going into the final jam of this third period, this women's period, with Jenny Matthews, who claimed she would be the first to 50 points. And right now, she's got a chance to pick up some of those. Although April Tootle's on the chase for the enforcers.
She's talking the talk. Now it's time to walk the walk. We'll see if she can do it right here.
16-14, the Dice are on top. Tootle's able to get a little edge on her on this jam, at the moment anyway. Jenny Matthews comes up from behind. If she was going for first to 50 against you, Big Nasty, it'd probably be even worse than it is right now for her. Oh, man. What's it like at an enforcer practice with you and the Hellcat and D'Amato? Boy, look at the girls' team is right.
Look at Shea Brown over there. She said, you can't do that to my teammate.
Princess in the wrong league there. Hellcat don't take no smack from nobody.
The Hellcat doesn't take anything. You're absolutely right. And Shea Brown and her have had some tremendous battles, haven't they?
That's right. But it looks like, you know, every time it seems to me the Hellcat ends up on top.
Look at this. Did you teach her this move? Or she already knew it, didn't she?
She already knew. That's why we picked her.
Look at Atkinson.
Atkinson's there, a little chair.
Yeah, what was Atkinson doing over there? What a team player he is. Just like you, Big Nasty, a champion.
Big Nasty, thanks for coming over. Good luck in the last period. And I'll tell you what, that last period should be quite something to behold. The enforcers and the Dice lead it by 2, 17-15, and we've already had some incredible action, especially from the Hellcat. And you know what? I'd like to know where the referee was during this little sequence. Wouldn't you? The trash can lid out there in her hands once again. Dice 17, enforcers 15. We're coming right back. All right, we're ready to go into the final period of this game. 17-15. The Dice have a 2-point lead. And look at these clowns smiling again.
I mean, clowns.
Well, speaking of clowns.
Yeah, now I agree.
You know, that's one thing Devo never gets a chance to do in prison, play Ring Around the Rosie. Or when he does, it's not the same version. All right, one more period to go. 3 jams left.
Waiting on Travis. Let's go.
Travis Wills gets up to the line. The whistle blows, and he jumps out there on top. Travis Wills for the New York Enforcers.
And you know what, Roy? Where's the all-genius D'Amato? Did he not tell us that he had another huge announcement to make?
Well, you heard the Big Nasty say that he thinks it's great that D'Amato's having a good time at the recovery center. And I think part of that good time D'Amato's having is because he knows he's got something important to say a little bit later. Jason McDaniel gets up there against the Big Nasty. McDaniel, who lost his Jammers championship to Bo Sanders, is working against Washington. Weber comes in to take Washington and Atkinson out. That leaves McDaniel a chance to have another tremendous jam over the top. Somersaults.
Play of the year right there, Roy. What a play by McDaniel.
He's been waiting for a long time to have a huge play and get back to his old self. He just did it. Boy, look at Atkinson. Here's a guy who doesn't know what state, what country, what planet he's on.
What he's seeing is snake eyes, I think, right now.
Meanwhile, Weber and Devo celebrate and yell at the crowd. You better not get too close to Devo, Mark. He might not be here much longer.
No, yeah, I know about that. But look at McDaniel here, Roy. There's Weber.
Weber took them both down, and then he had Devo right there to help him. And McDaniel, how about that play?
What a play by McDaniel. He's the only guy that can make that play in this league. I know Mo Sanders has a jammer's belt, but what a play by McDaniel.
You're not kidding. McDaniel is a tremendous jammer. Only 2 jams left to go in this game, and the Dice have a 7-point lead. Maybe Atkinson can't save the day. Maybe D'Amato didn't have any kind of a grand plan. Maybe he was bluffing. Andy Wallace and Travis Wills jump out there for the Enforcers against McDaniel again, along with Vinny Battaglia for the Hotdice. And now Vinny is down, and now McDaniel's down as well. And the Enforcers have a chance to get right back in it. Wills along with Andy Wallace. Down by 7. The next to last jam of this game. Oh, look out. Atkinson and Washington just took a little detour through the infield and picked up trash cans. They have them in their hands. They're waiting. They're lying in wait. Was that the collision of the year?
Look at the trash can. Not another one. Don't. Oh, nasty.
The jam goes on. The enforcers are scoring a whole bunch of points while Atkinson and the Big Nasty take turns working over the dice with the trash cans. Atkinson just congratulated Travis Wills. 9 black points. The black meaning the uniform color. 9 points for the enforcers, and all of a sudden, they've taken the lead in the game with only 1 jam to go. Look out here.
Look at the force behind those garbage cans, the attack, the Big Nasty. Roy, when is everybody going to learn in the WSL that if you mess with the Nasty and the attack, that you're going to pay for it later on?
You're not kidding. I'm hesitating here a minute, Mark, because somehow they have connected Mark D'Amato. And Mark D'Amato has asked for airtime. Mark D'Amato at the Recovery Center, the Eckhart Recovery Center. Mark, I hear you. We've been waiting for what you have to say. Go ahead.
You know something? I don't even care about this game anymore. I have been in complete agony this entire evening. No thanks to that Kenneth Logue and the Moral Authority. But you know something? I have the support of my millions and millions of fans and friends who have been there for me. And tonight, I have here a very special friend, the very pregnant Leather Gunnin. Come here, baby. Sit next to me. It's not going to bother you, is it?
No.
Good. Heather has come to me, the quad father, with a dilemma. Leather is obviously pregnant, and the father has not accepted responsibility. And no one knows better than I do what that feels like. So what's going to happen now is Heather's going to look in that camera and tell our audience who the father is.
I can't, Marco. I'm too ashamed.
No. You must. You must look in there and tell our audience who the father is.
It was dark.
Yeah, we know it was dark, and the father is...
It wasn't the love slave.
Okay, they had the mask on, the love slave had the mask on, all that, but who is the father?
It's that bastard Kenneth Logue. What am I gonna do, Marco?
Oh, give me a hug.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, how about that? Look at the prophets turning on his old mentor. And Logue's talking a mile a minute like a husband who just got caught by his wife in bed with somebody else. How about that? Another accusation against Logue. This is tearing this league apart. Let's get rid of this man. We're back with the final jam of the game in a minute.
Now it's time for the 3DO Army Men Air Attack of the Game. Hotdice duo Weber and Davidson decide it's time for the enforcers to take a seat. To the face. It's the 3DO Army Men Air Attack of the Game.
Denise Loden, Amanda Hertz, Leather Gunnin. The list goes on and on. Logue's been a busy little boy, hasn't he? Well, Broadway Danny Wolf is on his way up to that luxury box to talk to
all of the fans of Roller Jam, the fans of sport across America.
Kenneth Logue, you've got some explaining to do. Do you want to talk, Kenneth?
I swear to God, as God is my witness, I never laid my hands on Denise Loden or Amanda Hertz or the Jam Goes or anybody else. But I can't lie. I can't do it. There is a chance. There's one small chance that I might be the father of Heather Gunnin's child, but it's not what you think it is. Just give me a chance to explain. I was alone in my office one night. It was dark. I had the love slave's robes in there with me. It was part of evidence I was collecting for a congressional committee, and I don't know what came over me. I will regret this moment for the rest of my life. But please, one moment. But I thought if I walked a mile in a sinner's shoes, maybe I'd understand them better. And I put the robes on. And just as I was putting the hood on and zipping it up, Heather Gunnin came into my office, and she must have thought I was the love slave. She jumped on me. She overpowered me, she mounted me, and she drained my precious bodily fluids. It's a moment I'll regret for the rest of my life.
No! Everything you have told me and the boys from day one. I'm sorry, Commissioner, but as a prophet, I do not jurisdict. I cannot jurisdict Stick Olsen. No.
Don't judge me.
No.
The rest of my story.
Dude, it's time for you and your media
I never intended to have
It's time
sex.
for you and your
I'm
media
a victim.
Everything
I was
you
abused
told
in
me.
my virtue. It was so
And one more
loud.
thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to need K-9.
The Emperor has no clothes. How do you feel about your idol now?
Did you hear? He was a victim. He
Oh,
had
give me
nothing
a
to-
break.
You know what? He was violated.
Oh, yeah.
That leather
He just-
gunning violated
He
him.
just happened to have the hood on, and you know what happens when you put a hood on. Wow. How about that? At least he had the guts to admit that it could have been him. What will become of Loeb? What will become of this league? The prophet is disillusioned. There's nothing worse than a disillusioned prophet. The Big Nasty and Sean Atkinson are out there to try and win this game for the Enforcers. And you talk about divine intervention and inspiration. How good must they feel right now? They're coming up to the back of the pack. What about D'Amato? He's in the bathtub laughing his head off. And here comes Atkinson and the Big Nasty over the top. Back to cell block D, Devo. You've lost another round, baby.
Did you see the Akadak's helmet go flying off it? I thought his head was intact.
He never knows if he has his helmet on or off, and it doesn't matter right now because the Akatak has come in here and helped D'Amato at a time when his brother could not skate. And Atkinson and the Big Nasty help the Enforcers win the game, and the convict goes down. Wow, and that's Weber rolling along like a tumbleweed on the track as well. Atkinson did a tremendous job. The Enforcers win the game 34-22. The big loser on the night, though, is Kenneth Loeb. There's no question about that. And what's this? Loeb's being taken out of the skybox by K9 and disabled. Oh, this is a sight.
What is the prophet doing? That's the commissioner right there, Rory.
Well, that's the commissioner at the moment, but let me tell you something. He might not be the commissioner for much longer. He's admitted as much that he could be the father of Leather Gunning's baby. Right there, that's enough to turn the prophet against him. The New York Enforcers with Atkinson and with the Big Nasty and with the Hellcat and with D'Amato on the telephone win the game 34-22. Meanwhile, Kenneth Loeb continues to have his problems. K9 and disabled, and the prophet taking him out of the building, down the stairs, and out. Who are supposed to be the good guys in that little scenario, do you suppose? We know who turned out good tonight. Sean Atkinson, wearing the Enforcer uniform, along with the Big Nasty. They took some trash out of their own, I'll tell you. And, man, I hope Atkinson doesn't get too used to wearing that uniform. Goodbye, Mr. Logue, at least for now. Who knows where they might be taking him? There's a cell available that Devo used to be in. We'll see you next time on Roller Jam.